Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week, brought to you by La Valley Building Supply. I'm Mike Pizzone here at Lebanon High School, where it's the Lebanon girls basketball team who lead the Hanover Marauders 16-8. After a very, very impressive defensive effort in the second quarter, in which the Raiders did not surrender a single point in the entire quarter. So a great defensive effort by the Raiders, and it's paying off on the offensive end as well, as the Raiders now lead this game by 8 points in the third quarter, trying to keep an unbeaten 2-0 start to keep it alive as Wainwright drives to the bucket, and she's called for the offensive foul. It's going to be her second foul of the game. Wainwright leads the Raiders with 6 points, all 6 coming in the second quarter alone, so make that 3 fouls for Wainwright, so something to keep an eye on. Obviously doing the bulk of the offensive work for the team so far here tonight. Don't want to see her get 5 fouls if you're a Raiders faithful here tonight. So the Marauders now with the ball, trying to break out of an offensive slump in which the team has not scored in the game's last 8+ minutes. As the freshman, nice move, but they're going to call that a double dribble, and that kind of explains why maybe it was so nice in getting her away from the defense. So it's going to be another Hanover turnover as that continues to plague the team early in the third quarter. Just a reminder to stay tuned for YCN News every weeknight at 6:30 and 7 p.m. 6:30 on WYCX and 7 o'clock on WYCU. There's McDonald with the ball now for the Raiders. Kicks it over to Melanie. She drives to the bucket, gets a nice floater up. It's going to fall a little short, but a nice strong move by the junior guard. Nice to see that confidence. The shot, I'm sure, will fall as the season progresses, but a nice move nonetheless. Riccardi with the ball now for Marauders. Once again being very patient. Rhodey making the move down low, trying to get past Wainwright, who already has 3 fouls. So that might be a point for the Hanover coaching staff here, is to attack Wainwright down low and drive to the bucket as much as possible to see if you can get her to pick up that 4th foul. And maybe force Lebanon to take her off the floor and get her on the bench. But the inbound goes to Riccardi. Again, Marauders being very patient, and that's going to be knocked away. Melanie picks it up, quick up the floor. She's going to try to go coast to coast and draw the foul, so she's going to go to the line for 2. It's number 32, Carolyn Rhodey, picking up the foul for the Marauders. And that's going to send the junior guard to the line. Gone just about a minute and a half here in the third quarter with no team scoring yet. Melanie going to try to break that drought now. Gets the first to fall. Couple substitutions here for the Marauders. Both teams actually. Wainwright is going to take a seat with 3 fouls. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how long she's on the bench here, but pretty comfortable 7-point lead at this point. With your defense playing as well as it has, still haven't given up a point in a little more than 9 minutes now, so not that big of a risk having Wainwright on the bench. And that free throw is also good, so now a 10-point lead for the home team. The Marauders going to have to do something here to get themselves back in the game. I know it's only 10 points, but they have not scored in more than 9 minutes, so something has to be done for the Marauders. And another turnover as Hanover's called for the travel. So earlier in the contest, I was saying it was the Marauders who looked like the more comfortable team here in the visiting gym, but not so much anymore as turnovers are continuing to plague the visiting team. That pass finds Wolk. Hastings with it now. Donald takes the pick, gets the ball back to Wolk, and that layup's going to fall off the glass. A nice move, and now a 12-point lead for the Raiders. So the offensive drought continues right now for Hanover, trying to do anything they can. Get that ball in the hoop. Stop the bleeding a little bit. Riccardi swings the ball over. Buren with it now. And she is going to be fouled. It looks like that's going to be Hannah Wolk called for the foul. So with that, we're going to take a quick break from our YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week, brought to you by LaValle Building Supply, where it's the Hanover Marauders trailing the home Raiders right now 20-8, and on a big offensive drought. But right there, number 12, Lois Schwartz, with a 18-foot jumper, gets it to fall, and that's going to end the scoring the drought that spanned just about 10 minutes for the Marauders. Cuts the deficit to 20-8. So a much-needed basket for the Marauders as McDonald puts up a quick shot. An offensive rebound. That was Rogers, Cassidy Rogers, with a big rebound, and she's fouled as she tries to go back up with it. And that's going to send Rogers to the line for two. Rogers 1 for 3 from the line right now. Can't get that to fall, and the rebound initially was Hanover, but McDonald able to come up with the loose ball for the Raiders and maintain possession for the home team. Wolke now with it, gives it to McDonald. McDonald taking advantage of the pick, puts up the three, and she knocks it down for a big three-pointer for Kendra McDonald. Increases Lebanon's lead to 23-10 now. 4:40 remaining here in the third quarter. So a big shot by McDonald as Hanover tries to respond, but once again, that ball's turned over. McDonald quick down the floor again. Strong on the layup, a little too much power as that ball kicks off the glass, but a rebound by Lebanon. That shot goes up, and she is going to be fouled, so now Wolke will go to the line for two. So a nice sequence of events for Lebanon there as the turnovers continue to plague Hanover. And Lebanon continuing to take advantage. And Wolf gets that free throw to fall. Can't get the second to fall, but the Raiders now lead 24-10 with 4:20 to play. McCarty quick down the floor for Hanover. Schwartz with it now. Gives it up to her sister. Can't get that to fall, but Diana Schwartz with the rebound and putback. Nice little play there. Cut the deficit to 24-12 for the Marauders. Inbounds pass goes to McDonald. Quickly over to Hastings. Hastings across midcourt. Gets the ball down to Cassidy Rogers, who gets it back to McDonald at the top of the key. So starting to see that patience again from the Raiders offense, looking for that perfect shot. Tough drive to the basket, but another takeaway by McDonald. Although that pass was picked off, but Lebanon once again settling down with a loose ball. So more patience by the Raiders offense. More than satisfied with 12-point lead at this point in the contest. That ball's picked off, and Hanover quick down the floor. Schwartz with it, knocked around a little down low, and that's going to be a foul. That's going to send the freshman to the line for two. Foul was on number 12, Cassidy Rogers, her second foul of the contest. So Schwartz gets the first free throw to fall. Try to cut the deficit to an even 10 points here with 3:07 left in the third quarter. Schwartz, a freshman guard. And an unfriendly bounce there. Raiders with the rebound and quick up the floor to McDonald. Now inside 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. McDonald gets it to Hastings. Hastings takes the pick. Looks for the shot, but a nice bounce pass down low. Wolf unfortunately unable to get the shot to fall, and Hanover quick up the floor on the other end. Looks like Schwartz was trying to get the ball to the freshman down in the paint, but unable to do so. And that ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. So we'll take a quick break from our YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week, brought to you by LaValle Building Supply. I'm Mike Pizzone here at Lebanon High School, where it's the Raiders who lead this one 24-13 over their biggest rival in the Hanover Marauders in what is the annual Wexler Cup game in honor of Jim Wexler, who is a big community figure in both Lebanon and Hanover, so justifiably so having this cup game named after him. Schwartz with the ball, puts up a quick shot, unable to get that to fall. And that ball is going to be knocked off a Raiders player and out of bounds, so it's going to remain Hanover ball. So a nice job there to maintain possession by the Raiders. By the Marauders throwing the ball off a Raiders defender. The Marauders a perfect 1-0 on the season with a 55-43 victory over Goffstown in its opener. Trying to make it a perfect 2-0, but an 11-point deficit here late in the third quarter. In a hostile Lebanon gym right now. So difficult conditions for Hanover to try to come back, but not shying away from the challenge by any means. They had a big scoring drought where they did not score a single point in the second quarter, but starting to settle back into it here in the third. Unable to get that shot to fall, but a good rebound by Schwartz. Can't get that to fall, and Lebanon finally comes away with it as McDonald quick up the floor once again. A nice pass. And unfortunately, that layup can't fall by Rogers, but a rebound once again. And that shot can't fall either. So Hanover now trying to be quick up the floor. And a little while there, they're going to say that ball remains on Hanover's side. So with that, we'll take a quick break from our YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week, brought to you by LaValle Building Supply. And a deep three-pointer from the 6'2" freshman. That's not going to fall on Lebanon. Quick on the other end of the floor, and that layup can't fall. But Madeline Hastings with the rebound and putback gets that to fall. And the Raiders now lead this one 26-13. And a little confusion on the floor. I think the officials thought there was a timeout by the Raiders, but the officials now saying no timeout was called and urging Hanover to get back on the floor. Calling that an inadvertent whistle. So Hanover ball with 1:18 remaining. Raiders keeping up that pressure defense here, making things as difficult as possible on the Marauders to get the ball across midcourt. Approaching 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. Tried to get the pass, but a good defensive play to prevent the pass to the freshman Silk Milliman. It's going to remain Hanover ball. But once again, a real strong defensive effort tonight by the Raiders. Kind of a low-scoring affair for both teams, but I'd imagine anyone scouting Lebanon right now has got to come away from tonight thinking this is a good, solid defensive team. Hanover once again showing patience on offense. Brody with the ball now. And a nice move, avoiding a couple defenders, gets that layup off the glass. And that's going to pull the Marauders within 26-15 with 40 seconds now remaining in the third quarter. Hastings quick up the floor, kicks the ball over to Rogers. Rogers off the glass. Hastings with the rebound. Melanie with it now. 30 seconds remaining. Ball back to Hastings. Hastings kicks it over to Wolk. Back to Melanie, and she gets that to fall. It's going to be a long two-pointer. Her foot was in front of that line, so a long two-pointer, but timely bucket nonetheless, and the Raiders now leading 28-15 inside 10 seconds to go. See what Hanover can do. 5 seconds on the clock. 3. Shot is up, and that's going to be short. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. And it's the Lebanon Raiders who lead at 28-15 heading into the final frame of the Wexler Cup So stay tuned after the break for fourth quarter action from our YCN Game of the Week.